Plaintiff Ashley Ham says the defendant is her mother, and she's addicted to crack. Ashley admits that she too is on drugs, but she's upset that her mother refuses to be honest about her addiction. Ashley's suing her mother because she had Ashley's car towed away while she was in jail. Defendant Robin Ham says Ashley has been addicted to PCP for 11 years, and her addiction is so severe that Robin is now raising Ashley's children. Robin insists Ashley gave her the car in question, and therefore she doesn't owe her for anything.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
On July to September, I was incarcerated.
Are you all right today?
Yes.
Your Honor, she's lying. She's been addicted to PCP since 2006. I'm raising her children. You understand? She's been in and out of jail all of 2016. She has crashed when the kids was in the car.
You know, ma'am, I would generally interrupt her and tell her it's your turn, but ma'am, you seem a little out of it, so I'm gonna let her talk first.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can get your thoughts together, and I hope you'll be prepared to express yourself. Go ahead. You say it's since 06 she's been addicted to PCP? Never gotten treatment?
She was on probation, and her probation officer put her in a drug program, and 2 days she walked out.
Yeah, well, when you're forced to do it, that typically doesn't work. It's when you hit rock bottom and you say, I got to do something with my life. I got to change. That's when it typically, that's the best chance of it working. But she was in jail. What did she commit? A crime, obviously?
She actually assaulted a police officer.
Ooh, she was hiding the joker that day. How long have you had the children?
I just got them in March of last year. What I did was I intervened.
Right.
That's what I did.
Did she contest it?
No, she asked me to go get those kids. And I went and
she went
got
to the
my
hearing and
grandkids.
said, I'm voluntarily.
Yes, I went and got my grandkids. And
I know, but the question is, did she fight it?
No.
Okay, she
I'm sorry,
voluntarily wanted you to have the children.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
because a lot of folks, drug or not, they want to fight for their kids. A lot of times, I don't want to stereotype, but sometimes it is that a drug addict fights to keep the kids because they want to have a check to continue to use the drugs. So it sounds like at least she acknowledges that she can't care for them for some reason and is voluntarily giving them up. So that says a little something positive about you, ma'am, if any of what she says is true. But what do you want to tell me about yourself before we get to the car you're suing her about?
To be honest, I don't even want the money for the car. All I want is a little respect. Self-respect. I respect myself as an adult. But when, like, others keep coming at me because of what they going through, and I acknowledge everything I've been through, and I'm still going through stuff, and I leave it in God's hand. I'm only one person. I'm not going to keep taking in other people's problems, other people problems. I know what I'm saying? It's only one time you have to sit here and come at me about PCP. PCP, that's a dangerous drug. It's a very dangerous drug. And to keep using it is like killing yourself. And I know everything I've been through, and I know everything I said about the car and about everything in the past. I'm not going to make no sacrifices for nobody, only for me. Nothing else is what I want. I just want a little bit of respect. And I see a beautiful young woman in my mother. She can't acknowledge to leave the drugs alone, to get help for herself, and me, I can get help for me.
But
it's nothing
else.
Crack. It's all a drug.
Did you jump on a police officer while under the influence of PCP? That's the type of stuff people do.
I was intoxicated, drinking.
Okay.
I wasn't under the influence of PCP. I was drinking. I was at a club.
All right. Do you still use PCP?
I'm going to be honest, yeah.
Okay. And when you say other folks' problems, you say other people, you don't want to continue dealing with other people's problems. What do you mean by that? Whose problems are you dealing with other than your own?
Mom.
Huh?
Mom.
Okay, ma'am, do you have a crack addiction?
No, sir.
Because I know you wouldn't want to put your children in the hands of a crack addict, would you?
No.
So why does she have your kids if you believe she's on crack?
She have my kids because I know I'm not copacetic to raise my kids.
Neither is a crack addict.
At all.
And you say she's addicted to crack. Or was it in the past?
Oh, no, she's still on drugs. We're both on drugs.
Okay.
I can speak for her.
Can we help get you some treatment?
Oh, I have had treatment.
No, but can you get some more?
Oh, yes, I can.
Because it's not working so
Oh,
far. You say you're still using PCP. So if you have treatment already, that means you've relapsed.
Yes, I know.
So when you relapse, you need more help, right?
Yes.
All right, so you're going to go and get some help with us, right?
Oh, no, I'm already getting help. Through
What help you
connection.
getting? What help?
Through community connections. And I see a psych doctor.
Okay. And do you go to NA meetings?
No, I haven't been to no NA meeting.
Why? Don't they recommend that? Your doctors and your
No, they
psychiatrists?
don't recommend anything. I have to want to do it for myself. No one cannot tell me.
But they recommend that you want to do it for yourself. You need to try a little harder. Maybe you need the treatment we help with. I'm gonna have my staff talk with you anyway and try to talk you into getting some treatment that works. Because with all this, you're still using PCP. So I want to work with you. We're gonna work with you whether you want to or not. You understand that? Hey, you understand that? Hello?
May I say something, John?
Yes.
When I'm not using PCP, I feel like a totally different person.
You feel better or worse?
I feel better.
All right, so that's
But
why
I am in and out. I'm here and then I'm not here.
that's why we got
I can admit that.
That's why we're going to help you more so that you don't have to do that and you can feel good all the time. Ma'am, you've used the drug that she's referring to at some point. You've been addicted to it and
Yes,
you're
she
recovering.
Yes, she has.
No.
We used it together.
No.
Crack?
In the past.
No.
No, PCP.
And
That's what we're talking about. Crack.
Excuse me, let me talk for once.
Come on now with them crackish ways. Now go ahead. I don't believe you on it. I don't believe you on it no
yes,
more.
I can admit, in the past, we all make mistakes.
Right.
But the point is, I love my daughter. I'm helping her. I'm raising my grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting the best of kids. They get anything they want from me. Every time this young lady goes to jail, I have her back. Commissary. Take the kids to see her. Every Monday.
With my money.
We're not
Everything
late.
is with my
Excuse
money.
me, I'm
Everything
talking.
is with
Don't
my
interrupt me. I
money.
didn't
Let it
interrupt you. So I love my daughter.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Regardless of everything that's going on, I can admit I have a problem.
Yeah.
And I'm getting help with myself. I cannot help the next person. They gotta want to want the help for themselves.
Okay. All right. Tell me about the car. How does she owe you for the car? $3,500.
I was locked up July the 17th to September, and she towed my car. When I got out, my car was gone. It was not where I resigned at, the neighborhood where I resigned at.
Okay. All right, ma'am.
Your Honor, my daughter gave me that car because they took her license. She had too many DUIs. I took the car.
I actually
the car
did give it
is
to her. I honestly let her put it in her name because my license was revoked.
Yeah, people don't give away cars just because their license is no good. They do what she said. They put it in somebody else's name.
But it
People
became
don't-
my car.
How did it become your car other than you putting it in your name? That doesn't mean that she wanted to gift it to you. You know that. You haven't been in the game long enough. Now, come on with
Can
this.
I elaborate? She didn't want the car. That's what she told me from jail. I don't want the car. The car was wrecked.
Okay.
She didn't want it.
All right, it was wrecked by whom?
Her.
I was driving the car, Your Honor. And I wasn't supposed to be driving it on a suspended
And you wrecked
license.
it, and your
the
mother
Metro
says
bus,
you told
I
her
did
from
not
jail
wreck
you
the
didn't
car.
want it.
The Metro bus hit my car.
All right, did you ever tell your mother you didn't want it?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
What did you expect your mother to do in terms of taking your kids around? How about that?
She had her own car.
Why do you want two cars?
I don't. The car was undrivable.
What'd you do with it?
I junked it because they were putting notices on the door saying that they were going to tow it because it's sitting around. It looked like it's not being used. I had already told Ashley I wanted my tags off of that car.
How long had it been abandoned for the most part?
Maybe a month and a half.
All right, ma'am, you haven't proven to me that she took your car against your will. She seems very healthy and seems therefore truthful, and you seem very confused, and you haven't proven your case. You just got to prove it, and you haven't. So I'm going to have to dismiss your claim. And wish you luck. Can my staff talk to you so make sure that you're getting the right treatment?
I'm getting treatment.
All right. Good luck to you. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Ashley, you know I have nothing but love
Look,
for
woman,
you.
I ain't got nothing to say to you.
Okay, so
you are
I'm
who you
over
are, and
it.
I am who I am. We're
I'm
going to leave it
over
just
it.
like that. You're
That's
healthy,
fine.
and I need a little help. I'm confused, and I'm off of PCP every time I'm not on PCP, and I honestly can say I make sacrifices for me and my kids, and once I leave here I am going to family courts and get my kids back. It's nothing wrong with me. I just keep holding up so much inside of me that it's nothing wrong with her, and I'm gonna be confused. I'm gonna go ahead and be confused. Like I said, I'm confused.
Plaintiff Antoinette Wills has a son with the defendant, but she claims he was an abusive drug addict who abandoned her and their child. Antoinette is suing her ex today for child support. Defendant William Foster admits he was a crack-addicted deadbeat father, but he says he's been sober for 8 months and is trying to turn his life around. William is countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
And let's start with you, ma'am.
Me and Mr. Foster dated briefly in high school. We reconnected about 20 years later. We met at a metro station.
Where? Metro station. What city?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, they've been doing everything at that metro station.
Which one?
Now I know that's why y'all got a baby. Y'all did that metro, doc. I've been to the metro in D.C. They're doing some of everything. All right. So go ahead. You all live in D.C.? D.C.
I live
proper?
in Maryland now, but I was born and raised in D.C.
Maryland? What part of Maryland?
High school. Greenbelt.
How far is that from Prince George?
That is Prince George's County. You got a lot of differences.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Guess who's a prosecutor in Prince George County?
Oh, who that is? Let me write that down.
Jade Mathis. My oldest daughter. You don't need to clap because you here for child support.
He probably seen her before.
He gonna see her again if he owes this money.
Oh, wow.
That's right. She'll be on your doorstep with the marshals or whoever they bring with you, or with Doyle. I'm gonna send Doyle with my daughter.
Oh, my goodness. Pick him up.
You definitely get away then. I'm just kidding. Okay, so you all reunited. What year was that?
2006, around
Okay.
2006.
And how did it go from there? You all resumed dating?
Yeah, we reconnected. We got together fast. It was fast. I had a job, so I thought that was a plus. But it was the worst decision ever.
Why was it the worst decision ever?
Oh,
How long did you all date? From 06 until when?
So 2010, about 4 years.
All right. How did things go?
Things didn't go that well. I mean, once my son was born in 2007, William moved in with me. We lived together, for a certain amount of time. around 2010, things got bad and kind of went downhill. Things were a little physical and verbally abusive.
That's when you all said enough is enough and you all broke up?
Yes, we did. And at that time, Mr. Foster decided that's when he wanted to go into treatment, because back then he was running the streets, and doing what he did, unbeknownst to me. So then in 2010, he decided he wanted to go into drug treatment. And we, parted ways.
Please tell me it wasn't crack. When nobody else using crack in 2010, you was the holdout, huh? You were the last holdout. Yeah, well, you the last one. Everybody else is on heroin or pills or crystal meth. You still on crack? Lord have mercy. Nonetheless, child support she's suing you for. I'll allow you to give me some background on your relationship.
Yes. How you doing, Judge Mathis? I am an avid fan of yours. I come here today and to let you know everything she said was true. I was definitely a deadbeat father. I was stricken with a drug addiction during the 90s, during the 2000s, during the time when me and Ann met. I was clean and sober. I had 2 and 3 years at a time clean, and I relapsed. Today, I'm in recovery. Today, I went back to school at the age of 50 to accomplish and finish my high school diploma, which I failed twice trying to do. Mm-hmm. So after that, I'm enrolled in IC3 for computers. It's like a 2-month certification before I go to college.
How long you been sober now?
8 months, Your Honor.
Okay, and how long? You say you've gone 3 or 4 years at a time from time to time?
Yes, sir. I would get 2 years here. I would get 3 years here. I would get a year and a half. I would go through the NA meetings, getting a sponsor, but I railed to the side and relapse, stopped going to meetings and everything to start going up in my head and close and isolate. So today I have a sponsor. I go to group therapy, which anger management, relapse prevention, life skills, parenting skills. So today I have a therapist and I have a sponsor.
Good.
So I'm 8 months clean, Your Honor.
And you believe, and you can tell folks that NA is essential to recovery, that you go to those meetings. That's really the only way you can kick it.
Yes, Your Honor. Antoinette is telling the truth about I've been a deadbeat father, but at the same time, I was trying to also be in my son's life also. She's not telling you that side. It's more to it.
All right. And we're glad that you're getting treatment. Glad that you're admitting. Sounds like you're on a great road to continue in recovery. Ma'am, let me hear from you regarding him being in your son's life.
From 2010 to 2016, William was absent, abandoned. He didn't know if we was living or dying. He didn't know if Tayshawn was living on the street. Between 2016 and 19, I can count on one hand where William has seen Tayshawn, never called on a birthday, never anything. Had my phone number.
So she says you haven't been involved at all, maybe on rare occasions. Come on. I remember we just talked about being honest. Tell me.
She seems to have her dates all twisted. Miss Antoinette right here is a very highly intelligent. I was in love with this young lady. And for her to not to remember that when I was trying to reach out to her about my son, I got married, Your Honor. I was supposed to marry her back in 2009. We went to the Justice of Peace and everything. But when I broke up with her, she had me.
She say not me. She say you talking about something else.
You know what, Judge? We did go for the paper and we never went through. Thank you, Jesus.
Listen,
Judge,
Your Honor, listen to me, Judge Mathis.
Yes, sir.
When I hooked up with her, I already had 5 kids. Mm-hmm. Your Honor, I had 5 kids. She knew this. You know what I'm saying? So for her to come on this show and act like she didn't know about me, she knew about this. So, Your Honor,
she didn't say she didn't know. She said she disputed you saying that you were in your son's life and very involved. She said it's been a rare occasion.
Let me say this. When we broke up in 2010, and I didn't see my son 2011, I started another relationship. I got married. Once I got married, she made it hard for me to see my son She didn't want me to allow me to bring my son over my house, who I had an apartment with my wife at the time, up to 2016, when I broke up with my wife and left her, moved over my sister's house. She started bringing him over my sister's house, Your Honor, and I was seeing him. So for her to say I wasn't in action, that's a lie. Her memory is not there. So I can remember the time when I had him in the summer times. He was coming to see me. I was taking him to Smithsonian. I had 5 other kids. So he was coming over my sister's house. She would drive and drop him over there, Your Honor. So
you don't remember any of that, ma'am?
So he saw Tayshawn maybe once or twice in 2016 and 17. If you can look at the pages 14 to 18 in 2017, those are text messages where he first was actually in Tayshawn's life.
Judge Mathis, she would not allow me. She carried me as in like she had resentment, like I abandoned her. She didn't allow me to see my son no more.
At that time, Tayshawn has autism. He has anxiety. He has sleeping disorders. So at that time, Tayshawn was, 3? He was too young and going through stuff. And I expressed that to William. I said, if you're not going to be consistent, you cannot see him because he is not ready to, you haven't been in his life all this time. He has emotional issues. He has things going on, but he did not see him regularly.
Okay.
And actually,
you know what? I just heard you say you made your own judgment as to when he can see him. Okay, since you're in and out of life, I'm not going to let you see him now. I'll let you see him now. You made your own determination by your own statement right there. Also, what you directed me to read is something that establishes that he certainly had a relationship with his son. Can you watch Tayshawn this weekend? Yeah, right. Done deal. Send him on. Then I see him complaining about how you are denying it. You handed me this. Scornful mothers are when it's pertaining to the children's relationship with their dad. He's complaining about how you are causing problems in the relationship with him and his son, ma'am. I just read that. I read it when you sent it to me. I read it. Anything you want me to see, sir? Ma'am, I read it for myself. I read well.
Yes, Judge Mathis, I'm being honest. I have on page 14 to 28 these text messages, the verbal abuse I've been taking with her, and with her mouth, Your Honor, she's a little lady, but her mouth is vicious. She says some stuff to me, cursing. I'm trying to get along with her. So all this volatile and this discrepancy of misunderstanding and how she talked to me, I would not go for that. I don't talk to her like that.
You say you owe $5,000, sir. Do you owe $5,000 or not?
No, what, Your Honor? I do not owe $5,000.
Why?
I was in my son's
page 10 and 11.
I got emotional because she emotional stressed me.
And you put emotional stress on this woman and this son. You sound crazy talking about somebody getting emotional distress the way you did her and this boy. Now I'm trying to just give you the benefit of you reconnecting and wanting to do the right thing. I see evidence that you've done that. So just leave that old emotional distress junk that you looking for alone. Yeah, she gonna ride you. She gonna ride you forever. You shouldn't have whatever. But she gonna ride you forever, doctor. Get used to it. And I love it, quite frankly. Make him pay. Call him every day, darling. And just talk crazy to him all you want to. He shouldn't have been like he was. Talking about you a deadbeat. Now you got to pay the cost for being a deadbeat with the boss. The boss ain't playing that. So you got to pay the cost. $5,000 is her judgment. You get nothing for emotional distress. Call him every day. Have a good day. Judgment for
No matter what we go through, can we find an understanding we will have a relationship as co-parenting with my son? My life is no life without him. I want to be a part of him. He's 13. I want to be a part of him. But at the same time, I want to be able to communicate with you.
I have let you see him. So
yes, you have.
And I will appreciate if you will be in his life. consistent.
Okay.
Plaintiff Maria Sinatra says she and the defendant became friends 2 years ago, and she liked him because he was fun and spontaneous. But she had no idea that he would turn out to be a mooch who used her for her money. Maria's suing her former friend for breach of contract. Defendant Nick Sobleski says he stopped being friends with Maria because she's a total stoner who wanted to smoke pot 24 hours a day. Nick says after he ended their friendship, Maria was left with no one to smoke pot with, and this lawsuit is nothing more than a temper tantrum. He's countersuing for the cost of a DVD.
Tell me what's going on.
Well, I met Nick 2 summers ago, summer of my graduation in 2011. We both shared a mutual friend, and she was actually going to Wake for college, and she thought it'd be a great idea that, we meet and become friends and kind of replace her for the time being, she said. And yeah, we did. We met up at Starbucks one day and had our little friend date, and I could tell right when I met him that he was awesome. He was cool, he was spontaneous, went with the wind wherever it blew.
You all started dating or something?
No, just friends.
Oh, okay.
Strictly
And Your
friends.
Honor, honestly, we were never really that good of friends.
All right.
So
She wasn't awesome to you?
I think it was just very a one-sided friendship.
Okay. You think she wanted to date you?
No, I don't think that ever would have
okay.
been the case, Your Honor.
All right. I'm just trying to see what you all are seeing that you're not mentioning. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, turns out he was just going to be a stoner ex-friend of mine who was going to be a bum off of me and mooch off of me and take my money. So, yeah, I thought by the end of our, first hangout that he was going to be the will to my grace. But anyways, so months later, it is now January of 2012. We were looking online and we saw that our favorite band was actually going to come here to Chicago to perform. And we both decided we really wanted to go. So I bought what is the first of many payments.
All right. It appears like you're getting into the crux of the breach of contract. So let me allow him to give some background, then we'll get back to that.
Okay, Your Honor. I mean, honestly, the whole reason that we're here today is because, Your Honor, the plaintiff is a big stoner. A lot of our friendship, honestly, Your Honor, revolved around us just, getting together, smoking pot. I decided that I wanted, to stop smoking pot. So then at that point, she had nobody else to smoke pot with. So I'm assuming this is maybe just kind of like a withdrawal of the friendship or maybe of pot, and it turned into a temper tantrum, which resulted in a lawsuit. We started off as friends.
So you think she's just doing this out of anger?
Absolutely.
Because you stopped smoking pot with her.
Correct. Yes, correct. I know it may sound a little absurd, but I mean, I always felt very peer pressured by her. She would honestly show up at my house, knocking on my window at 9 a.m, with a bowl.
With what?
She would have a bowl ready to smoke through my window, knocking on my window at 9 a.m., would walk into my house and wake me up. I had lived with my witness at that time. She would wake her up, and whenever I would say no, she would throw a fit and leave. And it was always the friendship just revolved around her and her current drama, and it always involved her and marijuana.
Are you the only person she knew that smoked marijuana?
I think I was the only friend of hers that she had who was readily available to smoke marijuana with her, so she took full advantage of it.
You think that her smoking marijuana by herself would just be something that would crush her spirit?
No, Your Honor, I don't think it would have crushed her spirit. I just think she's a very codependent, needy person, and she became very, very needy upon me.
I guess my point is you're trying to suggest that that's why she's suing you. She's doing this because she's angry that you won't smoke pot with her anymore.
I mean, Your Honor, none of this even, came to fruition or was a serious issue for her until I stopped being her friend. I moved home, I stopped smoking pot, I got a great full-time job. I took myself seriously for once in my life, and that's when all of this started ensuing, where she, was constantly bringing up issues of money.
Ma'am?
All right, well, would you like to give him this?
Yeah, you can go ahead and tell me
I'm sorry.
about the breach of contract.
Yeah, January of 2012.
Because he says you were the stoner. I don't know if you...
Okay,
you
so
smoke a lot of pot?
I mean, I'm not saying anything.
I say a lot.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, a person who smokes a lot all the time, they are a stoner.
All right.
You say you don't smoke anymore at all?
I do not, Your Honor. I stopped doing that.
I'm going to see. I used to give the crack test, right?
Oh, no, Your Honor, never.
You put it up there. Well, I'm going to get a weed test now.
What if I go for it?
Why are you sweating?
What was that?
Why are you sweating?
I'm not sweating.
Put that up here, you go to sweating.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
All right, ma'am. Why
right.
are you suing him?
I'm suing him because in January of 2012, I bought us both concert tickets that I mentioned before, and that was $90 for each of them. That was like January sometime.
Excuse me, by the way, sir, you don't think I saw you sweating? I saw you over there. What happened?
January, I gave him, well, I bought our tickets. No big deal. He was going to pay me back before the concert in August. So it's now February, and around like middle end of February, he told me that he was unemployed at the time, I believe. Either that or he wasn't making money at all or something. Anyways, he needed to pay a cell phone bill and I think a little bit of rent money, and he was completely broke. And he told me that his dad said that if he paid him the $270 that he owed his dad, that he would sign over to Nick one of Nick's trust funds that he was supposed to get later, you know, when he was a little bit older. And so, without even double thinking it, I gave him $270, thinking I'd get it within a few weeks. It was probably like 3 or 4 weeks after, and I asked him, you know, where the check was. He's now telling me that him and his father are in an argument to the point where he's not allowed to go to his father's house and retrieve that check to give to me.
And mind you, Your Honor, we're still friends this whole time that she's talking about. We remained friends. It was never a big issue.
Correct.
She did not decide to end the friendship over it. We were still friends.
Correct.
Go ahead.
So it is now, let's see here. It's probably getting closer to April. Real quick in there, I loaned him $20 for gas. That's just another thing added onto the total.
You have them. All right. And when did you all last speak regarding this debt?
I still have more debts that we haven't gotten into. This is
the debt you're suing for, $590.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just
When did you all last discuss that? Slow down on the weed,
sorry.
just every now and then.
Yeah, maybe once every other day.
You see your brain on weed all the time? You know, I'm not terribly against weed, particularly medical marijuana, but, you know, when you smoke every day, all day, this is what happens. When did you all last speak of the $590?
This past December when he said he was going to pay me back.
Okay, sir, what do you want to tell me about the loan?
When we were friends or whatever, she did help me out with some money. At one point, there was a promissory note involved. I was honestly...
Is that right, ma'am?
That's correct.
Do you have that?
I do.
Now, in regards to said note...
He wrote me this promissory note after May 18th when I lent him another $300 because he was going to go to jail for being caught with paraphernalia in his car after getting arrested at a college party.
On or by Wednesday?
Yes, that is $680 because I reduced the $90 because I resold the Coldplay ticket. I'm sorry?
Has he paid anything toward that?
No.
Okay.
Your Honor, in all honesty, when that note was written or contracted or however I'm supposed to put it, I was completely stoned. I don't even remember what the note says. I was sitting in my witness's driveway in Maria's car, and I remember the exact situation. I cannot tell you the first letter on that note. I did not take it seriously whatsoever. If she took it seriously, that's on her end. But I honestly was stoned and I just thought it was a joke.
You just told me you remember everything.
I don't remember the first word of that note, though. I do remember being in that situation. I remember when it was written. I couldn't tell you the first thing it said, though.
Okay. You have any evidence that you were too high?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
All right. Now, your counterclaim for $68.69.
Yes, my counterclaim for $68.69 is actually for a TV series box set that I bought. The plaintiff was actually cheating on her boyfriend, and she was dating this new guy, and she thought she would impress him by taking over this, cool, trendy 90s show to his house to show him. I lent her my copy. I never saw it back. So, to be honest, I think it's kind of ridiculous that she's suing me, so I figured I might as well at least countersue for something that did belong to me.
Your Honor, this ignorant jerk would have got his DVD set back if he would have met me to pay my money back. And ignorant jerk. For you if you want that.
All right, give that to him. And I'm going to grant her judgment. You signed a note here.
Thank you.
And you have failed to live up to it. Your only defense is that you were not within the right mind when you signed it. And you can't prove that. Yes.
Your Honor, if it interests you at all, I actually have text messages printed out that say he's going to meet me. He's going to meet me on such and such days to pay me. And my favorite one...
Must have forgot from all the pot. Amazing she remembers.
My favorite text, if you'd like to read it, is about his dog. It's a very long paragraph highlighted if you'd like to take a glimpse at that.
Defendant, I will effing freak out on you if you don't back off right now. Sorry I went incognito, but my so-and-so dog died. Do you want a picture of her dead body?
This is
so you know I'm
honestly
not giving you the runaround? Sorry I didn't tell you, but we aren't friends, so it wasn't your effing business to know. So back off and I'll give you your money once the shock of watching my dog have a stroke and die in front of me wears off. Thanks. Don't respond to this. I have your number and I'll be in touch. Did this happen for real?
This honestly did happen that morning. I was honestly just like fed up with kind of life for a second, and it was just bad timing, and I flipped out. I'll be honest, I did.
Okay.
But yet there's no reason as to why he didn't try
give
to
him a
meet up
break
with
on
me.
this. I'm granting you your judgment. Now leave him alone about his dog. That is pretty crushing. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Yours dismissed because you have your items back.
Thank you.
First of all, why are you here? Are you just trying to get dolled up and come on TV? Anyways, to you, no, I don't have anything to say to you.
I really have nothing
I was
to say
gonna
to you
have some
either.
helpful advice as to you making your life maybe.
I
a little
don't
bit
need your
better, but-
advice. I don't need advice
Yeah,
from a
you don't need
pothead,
it.
a self-proclaimed pothead.
Plaintiff Leah Carroll says she's a recovering crack addict who lost her kids and her home as a result of her drug use. Leah claims she fell in love with the defendant, who was also a former drug addict, but she's suing him today for unpaid rent. Defendant Keith Jr. admits that he was a drug addict and dealer, and he eventually landed in jail because of it. Keith claims he's been sober for 4 months, but after he lost his job while living with Leah, she started nagging him. Keith denies owing her for anything.
Start with you.
I'm going to start with a little background. In my 20s, I started drinking, just with my friends and stuff. I later got into some heavy drugs and became a crack addict. I eventually got so bad I lost my kids, I lost my home, I lost my cottage, I lost my job. I used to work in a Catholic school. And in turn, I ended up homeless. There's a place called Thresholds, because I'm here from the city of Chicago, that got me off the streets, helped me get clean and sober, and helped me get a place to live.
Yeah.
So then in turn, I've been clean and sober for 3 years now.
Okay, congratulations. Good. Good.
I met Mr. Jr. in 2011, just through an acquaintance. We were friends. I saw him here and there. I fell madly in love with this man. He was doing great. He was an ex-user. He was in sobriety, and eventually we moved in together.
How'd that go?
It went awesome at first because he was working. He promised me the world. I thought it was going to be great, and it just went downhill.
When did it start going downhill?
He moved in around April, May, June. He lost his job. He was doing side jobs, and he just wasn't paying me.
Oh.
And I'm on a fixed income. I cannot afford to pay for an adult man. I just can't do it. I've done it before, and I can't do it again.
What was the agreement on rent?
Half the rent and some utilities, half the utilities.
How much was the rent?
My rent was only $515.
Okay. And beginning what month?
April, May, and June, he stopped paying.
Sir, let me hear from you.
So I will admit, Your Honor, I'm a recovering addict. I had a rough life. At the age of 18, I started selling drugs, and in 2007, I went to jail for selling heroin. In 2011, I came home. That's when I met Miss Carroll. She was a good support group for me, and I was a good support group for her as well.
How long have you been clean?
I've been the last 4 months. I've been clean.
Yeah, 4 months.
I see it a little different.
Absolutely.
I see you a little different than
Absolutely.
being a recovering addict.
Yeah.
Not the impression I get today. But let's move on. You all met and you moved in 2011?
Yes.
What was that like?
It was great in the beginning until I lost my job, Your Honor. And then all of a sudden, she just got to complaining and arguing and complaining about this and that.
Like what?
You know, where you going and
Yeah, when
what
you
you doing
start
with the
using it again and bringing it into my house.
I will admit I did relapse, Your Honor. Behind all of that and losing my job and between all of that, I did relapse. You know, and I
You
feel
didn't
bad.
think she should have said anything?
Oh, I'm quite sure she would
Then
have.
why are you complaining now?
I'm not complaining.
You are. You said, I lost my job, and then she started fussing, and she started doing this like she was doing something wrong. Now you admit that, yeah, you were back on dope again.
Absolutely.
And she's supposed to do everything that I'm hearing you say she did, she was supposed to if you were a
Absolutely.
dope fiend again.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, what you complaining about? What did she do wrong?
I don't
Tell
feel
me
like-
what she did wrong.
I don't feel I owe that money, Your Honor.
Okay, why not? You didn't stay there April, May, and June?
Sure I did. Sure I did,
You
but
did stay there in April, May, and June?
Yes.
Did you pay for April, May,
No, I
and June?
didn't.
But you still don't think you owe.
no, I don't think I owe.
Judgment for the plaintiff, $774. Have a good day.
Love you too.
How do I feel? I love this man to death.
Yeah.
But I can't support you. You're an adult.
Yeah, take care of yourself. I'm good. I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't got nothing
Absolutely.
to say. I ain't got nothing to say to her, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, same way. I love
Goodbye.
you too.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, bye.
Leave me alone.